Welcome back to my first YouTube video in bloody ages. If you haven't seen me before, I basically just do just shit TikToks really. Like I don't actually do anything in general. Like there's nothing impressive that I do. I just do random TikToks. And to be honest, I don't know if the people are laughing with me or at me at this point. So yeah, I'm actually putting effort into my videos. I'm making a YouTube video this time. So I don't know. Like I'm not saying I expect a round of applause, but like if you're watching this at home right now, like don't even bother liking, just clap, just stand up and clap. Like I don't know, like I think I'd actually appreciate that. But yeah, the video today, I thought I'd do a little video comparing Formula 1 to Formula E, because I was looking at the Formula 1 calendar and I was thinking, all right, after Abu Dhabi, again, we're just gonna have that massive gap of doing nothing during the winter break. And I don't know, like I feel like I sort of need a motorsport fix in some way. And that's when I realized basically like the last day of Formula 1 is like the first day of the new Formula E season. So you know, there's something. And I can't lie, like this year I actually got into Formula E a little bit. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, isn't that just a bit crap, Formula E? And that's exactly what I thought. Like if you were to ask me 2 years ago what I thought about Formula E, I'd probably say something like, I don't know, it's just a bit shit, mate. Like what do you want to watch that for? You know what I mean? But yeah, so I started watching it this year and I was like, it's actually pretty sick. Obviously for like a newcomer, it's quite difficult to understand. There's a lot of rules that you have to get used to and whatever. And I'll be making a video in due course, sort of like an introduction to Formula E just before the season starts. But the video I'm making today is basically going to be comparing Formula 1 to Formula E. Not just sort of like as a sport in general, but also like attending the events themselves, like the fan experience. Like, I was lucky enough to attend the Formula E race in London last year, well, this year. And yeah, I've been to a few Formula 1 races in my time as well, so I can make the comparison. But yeah, obviously if you're a motorsport fan, like you've obviously watched Formula 1, it's like, I don't know, it's like being gay and not liking men. I was actually a bit of a bad, I'm not even gay, I don't know why I said. But yeah, but realistically, like how many people have watched Formula E? Not a lot. But yeah, as I said, I thought I'd just point out the main differences just so you can get an idea. It's gonna be split into two camps. Sport in general and sort of like the fan atmosphere thing. Starting off with the sport in general, these are probably the things about Formula E which I thought were actually better than Formula 1. First of all, let's start with the qualifying. But yeah, if you follow me on TikTok, you probably know that I actually just love qualifying in Formula 1. I don't know why. I just find the concept of it just so cool. But Formula E, dare I say, it's even cooler. No, I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember exactly how the qualifying was in Formula E because it is a little bit complicated. Like you've got like heats, like you've got like heat 1, heat 2, whatever. It is a bit complex. But the thing that's pretty cool is that like where in Formula 1 you get like all 20 of the drivers, 5 of them go out in Q1, another 5 go out in Q2, and then in Q3 they sort of decide the standings. In Formula E, it's different. So they do whatever they do with their heats and stuff. But then I remember that they had sort of like I can't remember the word they used for it, so like shootout or something. I don't know, I'm gonna do my research, I'm gonna put the word right here. And it's basically 1v1, like 1v1 qualifying, which I just thought was so sick. Like basically they was just like one driver will go around and he'll do his fastest lap and the other one will try and beat it. And then whoever gets the fastest lap, they start ahead, which I thought was such a cool concept. Like, as I say, but it was actually so intriguing. And it's something that you don't really get much in Formula 1. It's sort of about like 1v1 action, because everyone's just all just thrown into the one track and they just got to do their thing. But imagine in Formula 1 if we sort of had like, I don't know, like a Max Verstappen versus Lando Norris 1v1 qualifying. That would be insane. But yeah, that's what it's like in Formula E. Obviously, I think what Formula E are trying to do is they're just trying to differentiate themselves as much as possible. Like you've got to keep in your mind that, like, as I say before, every motorsport fan watches Formula 1 in the same way that every gay man likes men. I need to switch up this analogy because it doesn't even make sense. But realistically, like if Formula E was to do everything the exact same way as Formula 1, no one would bother watching it because it's like, oh, I might as well just watch Formula 1. Like the drivers are better, you know, they're faster or whatever. So it makes sense that they have to differentiate themselves. Like they literally just can't be the same as Formula 1, otherwise nobody will watch them. The second cool thing about Formula E races is that compared to Formula 1, there's just no mercy. Like for example, in Formula 1, let's say like, I don't know, your front wing breaks, okay? You've got to go into the pits and you've got to change your front wing, otherwise you're just going to lose so much time. In Formula E, it's not actually like that. Like I'll try and put in some videos now, but basically when I went to the Formula E race, there were cars that literally have like wheels just hanging on by a thread, or like their car was just completely destroyed. They just kept on going anyway, because realistically, if they was to go into the pits, they'd just lose so much time. And I think it's all relative. Because in Formula 1, for example, you've got those massive long straights. If you're like slightly slower than the car in front of you for your broken wing, for example, that's going to take a lot of time out of your lap. Especially because the laps in Formula 1 are so much longer compared to the ones in Formula E. So they basically just say like, sod it, I'll just keep on, you know, driving a destroyed car around the track. Which, don't get me wrong, maybe isn't, in terms of safety, isn't the best thing in the world. But for a spectator's point of view, brilliant. Another cool thing about Formula E is that they're so tightly packed. It's not like Formula 1 where you have like a 30-second time difference between first and second. 2023 was a tough year. Like the cars are actually so close together, which means that if you make a mistake, it's going to come back and hurt you. Like it's really cool seeing the cars so tight together, and there's literally an overtake on every single lap. Probably like that wouldn't surprise me as a stat. Literally every single lap there's something happening. But yeah, they're the things of the sport which I find really cool about Formula E. However, there are some stuff which I don't know, is open to interpretation. You could see it as a cool thing or a bad thing. First of all, the rules. There's like, when I watched Formula E for the first time, I was just so confused. Like, what's all this terminology they're on about? Like, I don't know, like, oh, he's in attack mode, he's in defense mode, oh, he's got X amount of his battery left, he's got to use his battery power here. And I'm just thinking, like, what the hell is this? However, as I said before, they have to differentiate from Formula 1, so it's something they've had to implement. Like, basically, there's this thing where if you go off the racing line, you can get like a little boost, and you can use that boost later on. Sort of like, imagine in Mario Kart, if like they make you take a detour to get like the little square, the little item box, and then you get a little mushroom in return for that. It's basically the same as that, but in Formula E. But yeah, I mean, as I say, when I first heard of it, I was like, I don't like that. I felt like a bit of I just felt like a pure traditionalist Formula 1 fan when I first saw that. I was thinking, what the bloody hell is that? Utter woke nonsense, honestly. However, after a while, I was like, I like it because it's different, you know what I mean? Second of all, the races compared to Formula 1 are so short in Formula E. I think what they do like 30 laps, and the laps are so short anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get that the cars are slower, but compared to Formula 1, it just goes so quickly like that. I couldn't even click. There you go. Talking about click, can anybody do this? Wait. Yeah, fun story. When I was like 10, I was learning how to do this, and I was learning it on a cruise ship, and I literally spent the whole week of the cruise just going around like this. And yeah, my dad and even my uncle, who's not even related to me, was like just shouting at me the whole time. Alright, on to the things of Formula E which I didn't find that cool. That's just a nice way of saying I thought it was just a bit shit. First of all, the sounds. Like, one reason why I love going to watch Formula 1 in real life, it's just the sound of the cars is just incredible. Formula E, as you can imagine, they're electric cars. And I know you're probably saying like, oh Zane, what do you expect? You just expect them to like put on a speaker, just make like cool engine noises. No, but it is just a little bit, I don't know. Let me think of another analogy for this. It's like eating a water-flavoured lollipop. Because it's like, okay, yeah, it's a lollipop, it does its thing. It just tastes of nothing. So like what's the point? You know what I mean? And then obviously like a second negative point about Formula E, it's just the speed of the cars. They just don't go as fast as Formula 1. But what are you gonna do about it? So yeah, that's sort of like the sporting side of it. Now sort of the more fan side of it. Can you go away, please? That's what I thought. I hate kids, man. I shouldn't say that. Sorry about that, I just had to beat up some kids just to get them to move. I think I made 2 or 3 of them cry as well, so. Anyway, the fan zone. Okay, you have to bear in mind here that I actually went to the London edition of the Formula E, and this was sort of like the grand finale. It was the last race of the year. So maybe there's an element of, you know, like, this is a grand finale, we're gonna make this up to like a sick event, probably like the best one in the calendar, which, fair enough. However, I have to admit, the fan zone just was pretty sick. I can't lie, it just was sick. Like, there's all like interactive stuff that you could do, like,
why would you do that to yourself?
There was, I don't know, like a simulator which I actually, I'm not even, now even just thinking about it just pisses me off. Like, I could have won it, it was just the sensitivity, it was just so sensitive that I just kept on crashing to every single wall, and it was just pissing me off the whole time. Alright, I've calmed down. But yeah, so there were these shit simulators, which, yeah, I'm sure they would have been fun if you like practiced them like 5 hours beforehand, like all the other saddos that were there. Like, just get a life, like you've got nothing better to, like, I literally just rock up, okay, I pick my car, I just do it on the simulator thing, I'm just crashing into every wall. Oh, just because I didn't practice at home, I don't have a simulator at home. Give me a real car, that's what I'm saying. Give me a real car, or like the standard car in Mario Kart, that's one I always go for. And I always win there. So I always take the racing lines and shit, and I always win anyway. Like, even on 150cc, I still win on Mario Kart. Sorry about that. Side note, like, remember, the tickets for this were actually really cheap as well, considering it was like the grand finale in London at the XL. I think, I paid about like, what, 20 quid? Which obviously compared to Formula 1 is nothing. And you know, I had like grandstand tickets. It wasn't like Formula 1 where it's just like, you get what you're given. But yeah, it was cool. They had like a whole concert there. Who was it? I think it was Craig David or someone like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get up and have a boogie. I did not do that. But yeah, as I said, the fan zone was incredible. They had some really cool stuff to see, like really interactive. The queues weren't even that long to do this shit anyway. Like, and if I compare this to like the Formula One events that I went to, like when I went to Monza, for example, first of all, I didn't even have like a grandstand ticket. I just had like a general admission. We literally had to pick up logs from the nearby forest to put it onto the side to be able to see the actual track. And we had to stand on these logs for like 2 hours. And I get like whole like community stuff, whatever, you know, engaging with other people. But in terms of spectating the sport, just was a bit shit. Like, also where we were standing in the grandstands in Formula E as well. Obviously I feel like they just invested so much into this event in terms of, you know, invested in trying to encourage us to like engage with the event too, whether that be in the fan zone, whether that be actually in the grandstands as well. Like they had so many interactive stuff, like I don't know, like vote on your phone for whatever, I don't know. I can't lie, I'm a bit too boomer for all that kind of stuff, but I can imagine why it'd be pretty cool. However, I suppose on the flip side of that, it did feel like a little bit forced sort of thing. They all gave us like these little like clapper things to like cheer on like the drivers or whatever. I don't know, I thought it was a little bit cringe. I did it anyway. I did it anyway because it sort of became like I really liked the feeling, I'm not gonna lie, just smacking this piece of paper in my hand like this. But you know what I mean? But like if it was Formula One, if you're like cheering for someone, it comes more like naturally, I suppose. You know what I mean? Which sort of brings us on to the negative sides of, you know, like Formula E, fan engagement, atmosphere, whatever. First of all, there's no sort of like mega fans. You know what I mean? Like obviously you know me from TikTok, I'm a crazy Ferrari fan. Like even like when I go to like Formula One events, you'll see I'll be in head to toe Ferrari outfit. I'll be wearing a Ferrari hat, I'll be wearing a Ferrari t-shirt, a Ferrari underwear, Ferrari socks, Ferrari sunglasses, Ferrari lunchbox, Ferrari water bottle, Ferrari plasters if I cut myself sort of thing, Ferrari inhaler, I don't even have asthma. You know what I mean? But like in Formula E, it's not you get many like, oh, I'm an amazing, I don't know. Let me find a team. That sounds just really random. I'm a DS Penske big mega fan. You know what I mean? Like there was no one there that I was looking at and thinking like, yeah, you love your team, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's sort of just like I was looking around, I was thinking like there's no diehard fans, which for me, for example, like really like pushes me to support like a certain team or a driver, or even just appreciate the sport in general. Like for example, I love basketball now, but like who am I going to support realistically? I'm not going to support like, I don't know, fucking Reading, that's where I'm from in England by the way, basketball team. So that's why I support New York Knicks, because like the fans are just crazy and I love it. And like, that's why I feel like I actually make a really good Ferrari fan, because I just love that energy. I mean, if you're asking who I support in Formula E, it's Porsche. There's literally no reason behind it. One, because I like Porsche, okay, as he goes on to list his reasons. And two, because that Antonio Felix da Costa is my favourite driver. I don't know why. I just thought him and I thought, yeah, you look cool. I just decided to support him. But yeah, as I said, there was no one like mega fan. Second of all, the merch, which don't get me wrong, I'm not like a big believer in consumerism. Like if anything, even if I go to a Formula One event, I'll just be looking around thinking like, you're all just victims of consumerism. So this is literally coming from me, and I literally just said that I'd have a Ferrari inhaler despite not having asthma. Anyway, the merch at Formula E just was a bit shit. Like I don't know, I feel bad saying that, because I don't know, like what if like Formula E, like if you guys want to do a partnership, I will get on my knees and apologise and do questionable things. But yeah, it was sort of like, the merch was just like a t-shirt with just like a big E on it, like, or you could get like a cap with a big E on it, or like a bag with a big E on it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're asking, this is the one thing that I took home with me. I actually stole this, so I'm just going to apologise. I'm going to put it out there. I apologise for stealing this, but I'm not sorry at all. It's pretty cool. I thought I'd have to take something home with me.
And if you look closely, right, it says recycle, refill, return.
I just didn't return it. I suppose I'm just pretty chill like that. So I thought, you know, take home a little souvenir sort of thing. It'd be rude not to. But yeah, there's sort of like the main differences that I found being a fan of Formula One and now a new fan of Formula E. If this video does interest you, then keep an eye out, because I'll be making like a video, like a welcome to Formula E video, in which I'll basically be giving an overview of it, like what you can expect from this year, like the different teams, the different drivers. So yeah, I hope you'd enjoy that video when it comes out. So yeah, keep an eye out for that video. That'll be coming out shortly. Actually, no, not shortly, like 2 weeks. But yeah, that's it. That's basically like the main differences between Formula One and Formula E. I hope you liked this video. If you didn't like it, you can actually go and you can actually just suck your mum.